Mind is everything what you think you become. Namaskar, welcome to Next IS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we will cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. Now, recently, Justice Sanjiv Khanna has been appointed as the 51st Chief Justice of India. Talking about the appointment process, the Chief Justice of India and other judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President under Clause 2 of the Article 124 of the Constitution. The outgoing Chief Justice recommend the next Chief Justice to the Union Minister of Law, who forwards it to the Prime Minister for the President's approval. And here, Chief Justice should be the senior most judge of the Supreme Court deemed fit for the role. Now, recently, Union Cabinet has approved rupees 1,000 crore venture capital fund for space sector startups. This initiative aims to accelerate the growth of India's private space sector and retain domestic companies, facilitating additional funding for later stage development. This fund was first announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman during the Union Budget 2024-25. This fund will be managed by the Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, which was established in 2022 to enhance private sector participation in the space industry. Now, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi approved 2 railway projects, and these railway projects will expand the railway network by approximately 313 km across 8 districts in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Bihar. Next article talks about trachoma. Because India has successfully reduced the prevalence of trachoma to 0.7%, marking a significant public health achievement with economic implications, as trachoma-related blindness caused an estimated annual economic loss of $2.9 billion to $5.3 billion. Talking about trachoma, it is a chronic infectious eye disease primarily affecting young children and women in areas with poor sanitation. If untreated, it can lead to blindness. It is classified as neglected tropical disease by the World Health Organization, which aims for its elimination by 2030 as part of Sustainable Development Goals. And India's success is largely attributed to WHO's SAFE strategy, which includes surgery, antibiotics, facial cleanliness, and environmental improvements. But despite the achievement, continuous efforts are essential to maintain low prevalence rates and prevent resurgence, including regular surveillance and adherence to SAFE strategy. Now, recently, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority of India announced a 50% increase in the ceiling prices of 8 essential drugs used for treating conditions like asthma, tuberculosis, bipolar disorder, and glaucoma. This decision was justified by the government, citing extraordinary circumstances and public interest. Section 19 of the Drug Price Control Order allows the government to adjust drug prices in extraordinary circumstances for public interest. And friends, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority of India operates under the Union Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers and regulates drug prices under the Drug Price Control Order of the Essential Commodities Act. It typically revises ceiling prices annually based on wholesale price index starting April 1st. Now, according to recent report, money laundering poses a significant threat to integrity and long-term success of India's online gaming sector. Indian real money gaming sector has seen a compound annual growth rate of 28% from financial year 20 to 2023. But there are some challenges identified in the recent report, which includes financial integrity issues, cybersecurity risks, and user protection concerns could hinder the progress in the sector. Illegal betting market in India attracts over $100 billion in deposits annually. There are also concerns for potential misuse of in-game assets and cryptocurrencies. Therefore, in this context, report recommended to establish a whitelist of compliant gaming companies to ensure payment gateways, create a dedicated task force to target illegal operators, implement stringent know your customer practices, and take action against misleading advertisements. Now, India and Germany are finalizing a memorandum for logistics arrangements between their armed forces, focusing on cooperation and joint exercises. The proposed memorandum aims to facilitate joint exercises and could enhance co-development and co-production of defense equipment. The focus areas for cooperation include underwater technology, cruise missiles, and drones. Germany is also interested in establishing repair and maintenance facilities for its ships in India. Next article talks about Karmayogi competency model, which was developed by the Capacity Building Commission for Civil Servants to facilitate their transformation from Kamchari to Karmayogi. This model was inspired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's public speeches. It outlines 34 competencies divided into behavioral and functional categories, emphasizing themes like development, pride, duty, and unity. It was initially applicable to central government employees and some states, which includes Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh. And friends, Capacity Building Commission was established in April 2021, and it includes members from private sector, civil society, and IS. Next article focuses upon Emission Gap Report, which is an annual publication of UN Environment Program, and recently it revealed that greenhouse gas emissions from China and India increased by 5.2% and 6.1% in 2023. Overall, global emissions rose by 1.3% compared to previous year, and the report warned that without significant scaling up of climate actions, the Paris Agreement's goal of limiting global temperature rise of 1.5% could be unattainable within few years. Even the 2 degrees Celsius threshold is at risk. The report emphasizes that current climate actions may only achieve a 10% reduction in emissions by 2030 from 2019 levels, while a 42% reduction is necessary to maintain the 1.5 degrees Celsius target. Therefore, report calls for increased investment in emissions reduction, estimating that an investment of $200 per ton of carbon dioxide equivalent could help bridge the emission gap, potentially reducing 31 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2030. Next article is related to Great Indian Bustard because recently a significant milestone for Great Indian Bustard was achieved with the first ever successful artificial insemination birth in Jaisalmer. Talking about Great Indian Bustard, it is one of the heaviest flying birds endemic to Indian subcontinent. It is a state bird of Rajasthan. It inhabits arid and semi-arid grasslands with scattered short scrub, bushes, and low-intensity cultivation in flat or gently undulating terrain. Today, the population is confined mostly to Rajasthan and Gujarat. Small populations are also found in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. It is listed in Schedule 1 of the Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and IUCN Red List of Threatened Species classifies it as critically endangered species. Now, recently, Indian government has launched a Gram Panchayat-level weather forecasting initiative, providing 5-day weather forecast updated hourly for rural communities. This program was a collaboration between Panchayati Raj Ministry, Indian Meteorological Department, and the Ministry of Earth Sciences. It aims to empower rural population and enhance disaster preparedness. The forecast will be available on eGram Swaraj and Gram Manchitra portals as well as Meri Panchayat app. They will include current weather data and detailed 5-day forecast benefiting farmers by aiding in planting activities like sowing and irrigation. Next article talks about exercise Simpex because 31st edition of the Singapore India Maritime Bilateral exercise is taking place from October 23rd to 29th. This exercise was started as an exercise Lion King in 1994 and now it has become a key maritime collaboration between Indian Navy and Republic of Singapore Navy. The exercise consists of 2 phases which includes harbor phase and next is sea phase. Now according to UNESCO's recent report, India spends more on education than China and Japan, investing about 4.1% to 4.6% of its GDP from 2015 to 2024. This aligns with the international benchmarks set by the UN Education 2030 Framework for Action, which recommends a GDP allocation of 4 to 6% for education. The report highlights India's significant commitment to improving its educational system compared to other Central and South Asian countries. So with this, let's conclude today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.